Hi, and welcome to Season 8 of the 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat with Anna Larson and Selena Conmack. Together with their rotating panel of expert guests, these real-life boss babes share lessons learned and best practices you can use to level up your business. Anna is the owner of Nomadabout and is known for blending killer copy with proven marketing methods to create exciting business communications. Selena owns Howley Socially Inspired, and from layout to launch, her sleek website design and trending social media strategies provide a memorable customer experience with a taste of that famous Aloha spirit. Now it's time to laugh and be inspired, so grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome to the 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat live stream and podcast with Anna and Selena. 8 seasons of best practices and advice for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Today, we want to ask you, do you have a strong brand community? Guests Laura Templeton and Kelly, which I'm going to get her last name when she comes back on, a co-owner of Homebrew Coffee Company, digital marketer and journalist, shares how she and her partner bounced back after being hacked, robbed, and deleted. Despite their experience, their loyal clientele supported a rebuild, and now they are thriving as business owners. Let's talk about the formula for building a loyal brand community on today's 15-ish Minute Coffee Chat.
Yay! Good morning, everyone. We're so glad that you are here joining us live today. Or if you're catching the replay, thank you so much. Just pop in the comments, say, hey, here's where I'm joining from, and let us know that you're watching. We would love to be interactive with the people that are on live right now and be able to leave comments for everyone that catches the replay later. But super excited about today's conversation. Brand communities. This is something that's becoming bigger and bigger, especially for small businesses, because people are turning to brand loyalty over pricing so much more. They want to support the smaller business. They want to support sustainability. They want to support, local companies. I mean, whatever it is that is their thing, then they're turning to these companies, and so brand loyalty is becoming huge right now, wouldn't you say?
No, I think because people want more authenticity and they want to see like the people behind the brand and the business, and they're more about supporting that, right? They do those big corporate chains, but other days we really want to support the smaller businesses like Laura and Kelly. So
exactly.
Okay, Anna, tell that call to action question again. Let's have people answer it.
Yeah. So really our question is exactly what we've been talking about. Do you have a strong brand community? I mean, if you look at your clientele, the people that are coming to your business, are they coming back? Do you feel that connection with them? Are you building a community, or do you just have clients? And there is a difference between the two. And so today we're going to have a really robust conversation. If you're not over on YouTube, I'm just going to pull up some of these comments because YouTube's going a little crazy. We've got party time happening. We have Smelly Cat's coming on. We've got Jean Claude. We've got a whole bunch of people that are
they're here. Guess who they're here to support? Laura and Kelly. I mean, we're talking about a strong brand community. So, and you know what? I want to ask this question on the flip side, right? If you don't have one, are you part of a strong brand community? And drop that in the comments, because I'm curious kind of like what community you really enjoy that you feel is a strong brand. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on to sharing about every Monday. You know what? This is a Tuesday, Monday. I swear to God. Okay. We're going to read the bio. Look, this is Kelly, guys. You saw Laura on the other front, but I'm going to do a quick little bio read. Meet Laura. That's the one in the back with the glasses, with a background in journalism and a passion for digital marketing. Oh, you know what, Anna? I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Just keep running with it.
Look, you guys, I'm just excited. Coffee is like my other, it's like there's blood in my veins and there's coffee. And this is supposed to be Anna's part. So I'm just excited. I'm going to just back it up. Rewind. Go ahead, Anna.
All right. Well, so like Selena mentioned, we did not know Kelly was going to be able to join us today. So we have Laura's bio, but we don't have Kelly's bio. So let me tell you a little bit about Laura. And then when we pop them on, Kelly can tell you a little bit about herself. So meet Laura. She has a background in journalism and a passion for digital marketing, specifically brand community development. She's also one half of the Homebrew Coffee and Company, a fresh roasted D&D inspired coffee roasting business, which is so fun. The other half of the company is Kelly, her wonderfully supportive partner. Laura's from Canada. Kelly comes from the United States. So they spend half the year in Canada, half in the US, traveling and moving. And then I think one of my favorite parts about them is that they have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a rabbit. And they are working on building a schoolie, which if you don't know what that is, it's a school bus that's being converted into an RV so that they can travel back and forth, I'm assuming, and live in their school bus home, and which is awesome.
I'm obsessed. And I'm putting out an invite right now to them too, that if they're ever in the state of Texas, in Central Texas, please park your school here because I want to go. I like follow every schoolie TikTok account just to watch the progress. It's amazing.
Right.
Okay. Look, my excitement is here, guys. Are you ready?
I know. I'm going to bring him on. Yep. Here we go.
Hi, guys. Hello. Hi, Laura and Kelly. Okay, Kelly, real fast. Tell us just a little bit about yourself before we get into this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I'm Kelly. Last name is Kupras. I know you wanted to know it. So yes, it's Kupras, Kelly Kupras. I'm an ER nurse. I travel for a living. So I don't know if you guys have heard of like the whole travel nurse thing. Yeah, it's what I do. Okay. I've been doing it pre-COVID. So I want to say about 3 years, almost 4 now. Been a nurse for longer, but I've always had a passion for traveling.
Oh, that's amazing. First of all, thank you for what you did, especially I'm sure during COVID, it was probably a lot. So, and you guys run this business? Like,
I know.
Both have
and 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a rabbit.
Yes.
There's just really a lot going on here.
Yes.
I love that you have forged not just a strong brand community, but also your own strong community within your your bubble, right? Like,
thank you.
Everybody. So does the rabbit rule the roost? Like, who is of the animals? Who's
the rabbit's pretty. He's pretty chill. He's old. Yeah. He's about 10 years old now. So he's very chill. He's been very chill. But I would say it's probably Lucy.
Which is one of the cats.
Lucy's one of the cats.
Oh
she doesn't care about anything. Nobody can get in her way.
She's the smallest cat.
She's tiny.
But, yeah.
She's like the size of the rabbit.
I feel like that's like the cat's place. They're like, I'm here. Yeah. You're gonna pretend I'm not here, but I really am in charge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's pretty much it. So I would say that she's in charge.
I'm telling you, if I'm not on TikTok, honestly, watching schoolie. Well, actually, I watch a lot of different things on TikTok, but watching the cats just be total butt heads. It's the funniest thing. It gives me
it's funny.
Just knocking the cup over for no reason, but staring at you. All right. Okay. Okay, so now you know who Kelly is because we want to make sure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our coffee cup selfie real fast. So you guys, if you're watching, just give a cheers to our 2 fantastic guests today on 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! Look at their coffee mugs. I love it.
I love your mug, by the way. The weirdo mug is so cute.
I know this one. So I'm at my I'm in visiting, and so they have one that says weirdo and one that says weirdest. It's so cute.
That's so cute. I like that. So cute.
I love that a ton.
Very cute.
All right, let's dig in. Let's dig into our first questions and why we're all here today.
I know. Okay, so Laura and Kelly. First of all, you have to tell us first about kind of the background. What happened with your ex-girlfriend and then how it affected your business.
Yes. That it was actually a very tragic day. I was working.
Yes.
And thankfully it was a slower day, so I could one of the only slow days in an ER. I could actually kind of keep up with the Etsy account.
We should also state first this was our launch day.
Yeah, this was our
the
launch
Etsy
day.
Store. Okay.
Day one launch day.
Yes.
At work. It was going well. We were getting, sales. We were getting the support. I log in in the last 30 minutes of my shift just to see how it's going, and everything was gone. Everything. The store was no longer there. My passwords were all changed, so I couldn't get into anything. So my account basically wasn't there either. The store was gone. Everything just deleted. I messaged her right away. I was like, hey, I can't do this. Can you do it from the computer? See what's up. I check my email and it shows that somebody switched all banking information over.
Yeah.
So we lost literally everything. Yeah. And then I tried contacting Etsy, going through their contact us, whatever. It doesn't work for sellers. It only works for buyers. Mm-hmm. So if you're a seller, there is no number for you to contact. There is no anything for you. You have to email them and you have to wait like 3 days for them to get back to you.
In the meantime, they've like split with your money.
Yes.
And sorry, you should have contacted us sooner.
Yes. Took the money, deleted the store.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I have chicken skin like now.
I know. It just is like every storefront owner's worst nightmare, especially on launch day, which means you build up this great like marketing thing and throwing all the information out there. And I'm sure, other than loyal new customers, family and friends are throwing money at you just to like be like, hey, we want to tell you we support you, all that kind of thing. Yeah. And then to have it all just gone in day one.
Yeah.
It was awful. We cried.
It was disheartening. Yeah. It really was disheartening. We put so much work into building that.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like that's like devastating, especially for small business owners. It's not like we have $1 million to just throw away and it's no big deal, right? Like you worked really hard to do this, and you still have to fulfill orders.
Yes. So we lost
money is gone.
Yep. Yeah. So we basically out of pocketed for the first like 4 orders that we had, because that's kind of like 4 or 5 orders that we had in the store that were lost. So we lost that revenue and just kind of like paid for it ourselves and sent it.
So what you do though,
for the sake of, maintaining that kind of integrity, right? And what people were expecting. Because that wasn't fun. No. It was so disheartening.
There's never able to find out who or how or why or any of that information.
Couldn't even get our customers' refunds back. That's all I wanted. I was like, I just want them to get their money.
Yeah.
Oh, Yep. Oh, Etsy. I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, we were very disappointed.
Oh my gosh.
So we took a few days after that, maybe like 1 or 2 days, just kind of like process it and collect ourselves. And then we were like, all right, I guess we're doing this manually until I build a website. So that's what we did for the next month after that, because that was at the end of January. That was the end of January. And so for all of February, we just took manual orders and focused on just building up a community with our Discord. And how it affected our business would probably be that I think there are positive and negatives. Mm-hmm. I think the negative is probably that we definitely lost revenue. Like obviously the obvious ones that were stolen, but then also if we did have an Etsy store and we had that presence, we probably would have made more sales in February. Yeah. Rather than doing it manually. Like it was really through like people would message us on Discord or Instagram and tell us what they want. We would get their email and send them a PayPal invoice. Like that's, you know what I mean? So it was a process. So it wasn't as easy.
There's no automation for you guys happening, right? It's not like click, 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 and you're like, oh, just put the order in the box.
Yeah. So we lost that kind of opportunity of convenience. And so we kind of dealt with that. So that would be probably the negative side, but I think the positive side is that it probably reinforced the strength of our brand, in that, you know, we persevered, we showed our resilience. And then I think everyone who had faith in us saw that. They invested their time and energy into ordering the product, and everyone, I'm pretty certain everyone who ordered in February has reordered. So, stuff like that. So I think that would probably be the positive, that like people kind of saw that. They were like, oh, okay, like this is, you know, we can trust them. Right. Yeah. So, and we learned from it.
I think that's a really big deal, right? That because there's a need now, I feel like, for clients or customers to have that sense of security with the people that they're purchasing from, in whatever sense it is. Like, the quality is not going to slide, you know, because you hear about that, right? You hear about like, oh, I ordered it a second time. It wasn't even the same thing. Yeah. I'm not going back there again. Right. Yeah. And so it sounds like you guys have been able to like take a seriously devastating experience.
Yeah.
And then
it was.
Well, and it just kills me, like all that, because you were counting on the Etsy storefront and then to have to turn to Discord and PayPal invoices.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do. Though.
No, and you know what? I have to commend you because like there could have been two options, right? Like, well, first of all, I'm sure I would have cried first for like a whole like hour or two, and then like and then do what you do, right? You guys were like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this, or you could have been like, I'm done. This is like so invasive. Like this is closed, and it does happen. And we did a show about cybersecurity. How actually when a business gets hacked like that, it says 65% of businesses literally close down.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's expensive to try to, and you know that just with the Etsy side of it. Can you imagine if it was like your own website, right? Like, but it's like you're paying money to do all of this. You're just all the things, like you said, the loss of sales, and sometimes even the product. You still have to send it out to a customer, or else that customer they don't care your story, right? They're just like, well, I paid you money anyway,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, commending you both on literally like the perseverance to like that, and I think that was part of the story when we heard about you guys coming on. We're like, oh, whoa, like
I know,
whoa. So
yeah, it was horrible. The fact that Etsy just doesn't care.
Yeah, that was
what was the most disheartening thing.
I'm a little
like no support,
because I'm like, but you need the sellers. So that, you know what I mean? So there should be some kind of protection. But you know what? What's really sad is that is not the first time I've heard an Etsy fail story like that before. So I'm just gonna.
Well, Etsy's been in the news for a while, right? And it's had a strong brand, and it's losing momentum, which kind of takes us to our next question, actually, which is, can you tell us why is a strong brand community important? And did it help you through that process? You kind of already answered the second one. You said you turned to Discord and the people that are your clientele, but tell us about the strong brand community, what it actually does.
So a strong brand community, I think, creates this very strong pillar for your business. So that there's so many benefits to that. But I think it's also a really good kind of like safety net if something happens, like your Etsy store gets hacked and deleted. And I think it gives people a place to build their own brand loyalties and build their own relationships amongst each other. And then also with you, with Kelly and our Discord community is where we put a lot of our energy. I think it's kind of like, I think of it as kind of like this club. It's like an exclusive club. You can join. Anyone can join. The link's right there on Instagram and on Twitter. But the people who it's everywhere. And people who take the time and feel like joining, when they join, they get to help us do really cool things like name our brand roast or our coffee roasts, and help us come up with like different creative ideas for business cards, or they get to join in on D&D like adventure builds and different things like that. So like, we're not just about coffee. The brand community isn't about coffee. It's actually about like D&D and what inspires all of our consumers to even coming to us in the first place. So we're kind of fostering that, and we're nurturing those relationships, and that's incredibly important. Honestly, I think every effort that we put into our community helps just like lift us up as a brand. But it also helps lift everyone else up in the community, which I think is equally important.
Yeah, we have a spot for everybody to share their own stuff, promote their own stuff, because it is hard, you know?
Yeah.
Can I just, again, we had another guest that talked about like, it's not always about the sale sometimes, right? It's about the building of community. It's about the value that you give each other, right? And so I love that. That's exactly what I'm feeling when you say that, like with the Discord community, is that it's not you guys going on like, look at my newest coffee, and
not at all.
No. It is literally about you guys. Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. How you do it.
I think that that's something that people don't understand about brand communities. It's not just you selling at people that like your brand. It's about you involving your community in the process of building your business and growing it in the way you want it to grow. So for them, like just you talking about yours is D&D focused, right? Dungeons and Dragons focused. For anyone out there that might not know what that means, which I don't know who that would be, but just in case, right? Right. So you're D&D focused, but I love what you said. You're letting them help name the coffees.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, they're involved in adventure modules. They're involved in like the thing that they get excited about, and you've tied it to your coffee business, which is why they're there. Right. I mean, and so in that way, it's like roundabout, but they're still supporting your coffee business, but they're having a great time doing it.
Yeah.
And you can throw a sales pitch every once in a while. Hey, we've got a special on, or hey, we have this new roast out now, but that's not the focus. And I think that's where some people get confused and they think, oh, well, I have a Facebook group and I put my thing in there every day. And it's like, well, that's not really building a brand community.
True.
Exactly. It's so I mean, like almost speaking to like I've done a lot of social media management the last couple of years for my own business, for my digital marketing. And I see that a lot with like a lot of my past clients. I don't do social media management anymore, but I did for a long time. And a lot of my clients very much so, you know, they don't like, I try to explain to them this, you know, it needs to be people oriented, people first, brand second. You need to pepper your brand in to your social media strategy. You cannot just be like, here's my brand, buy my stuff. People do not want to be sold to. That it's their idea. People don't want to be sold to. This is in the age of digital marketing. Nope. They want that to be their own choice. And typically their own choice relies on where their loyalties are, right? So you want to help build that connection and foster that connection. So I think that's a big part of what our brand community is about. It aligns very well with our brand's kind of like mission to basically unite people and inspire them to be their most authentic creative selves, and like empower people in that. And that a lot of that happens on our Discord community, and we're very grateful.
Yeah, we
that.
all just build off of each other.
It's awesome.
In all honesty.
Yeah. So one of the things I love as you're talking is I'm like, you're just as motivated by what you get out of this brand community as they are, right?
Yes.
Like, so it's it even ends up being less. I mean, not less, but your clients or your customers are getting something out of it. You're getting out of it. And like you said, you feed off each other, which then just builds that momentum. Like, even if you were to close down your shop tomorrow, which you're not going to, but let's just pretend like you would still have the community.
Yes.
Which I think is, and I think that's like the true test of, is this a true brand community? Or is it, because you could say, hey guys, we're going to take coffee off the thing, but guess what? T-shirts are coming next.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm just throwing out an idea. They would totally still be on board with you. Like, yeah, cool. I got great design ideas for you, you know, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the true test of, am I building a brand community, or am I just selling at someone over and over again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Super good point.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more about Laura and Kelly and not about Homebrew at some point, right? It's just about like what your ventures are. So no, I love the collaborative community that you guys have built, because I love that you shine light on them as well, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's all over our website too, right? We have that community spotlight where we want, you know, we just want to show other people, hey, there are these other awesome people that you should go see and check out.
No, there's enough of us out here in the world to share, right? Like,
yes, exactly.
I do. Like, I'm like, hey, me and Anna cannot build every single person's website in the world. So everybody, there's a lot of other people out there, right? Find what works for you. So, gosh, okay,
exactly.
All right, Anna, let's shuffle on to that next one.
Yeah. So we have one more question for you. And this is kind of a big one, right? I mean, it's kind of a big question, but we want to talk about the process a little bit. So you've got the small business owner and entrepreneur, maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they've been in business for 10 years and they still haven't managed to break that code of brand community. So the first question is, what advice would you give someone who's trying to build that strong brand community? Where do they go? What do they do?
Do you want to
yeah, I mean, I can try. Honestly, it's a lot of self-reflection. Like, you have to know what you want to put out there first. Like, what do you want to be represented? For us, it's all about our community. For other people, is that what you want, or do you want to focus on something else? And then how do you go from there? At least that's how I kind of take it. Yeah. I don't know. How do you take it?
So I was going to say, it's really important to the reflection is yes. Actually the direction that I was going to go into. But ask yourself a few questions. What's your goal with your brand?
That's also
what is your brand's purpose? How do you want the world to see you? How do you want the world to? What do you want people to think of when they think of your brand? So answer those questions. Like, what associations do you want people to have with your brand? And then ask yourself, how can you make that happen? Yep. So for example, for us, when people think of homebrew coffee, I want people to think of, inclusivity, and togetherness and, creativity and authenticity. And that's what I want people to think of. That's what we want people to think of. So we try really hard, and that's kind of like, we create a strategy for that, and we work really hard at that, and we tackle it together. Let go of your idea of what you think you need to do and do your research. Accept that you should maybe improve in certain areas, right? Don't get stuck in your ways, because the digital marketing world is ever evolving and you need to evolve with it. Yes. So I think that's incredibly important too, because if you get stuck in, the algorithm from 5 years ago on Instagram, you're probably not doing anything. You're not going to grow. Let go of the idea that you need to have a lot of followers, and that your followers are somehow reflective of your success. It's not. That's just vanity.
I love that tip. I love that.
Yeah, so it is. I see so many people buying followers.
It's so obvious too when you buy them.
Oh my gosh. I mean, like there's a formula to every username, and you know what's fake, and the engagement rate is off, and everything looks wonky. Yep. And I think that the biggest thing is to develop brand transparency. And when you purchase followers, you are now violating that completely. You're not being transparent, and you don't have integrity anymore, because you're literally lying to people about how many people are in your community and how many people like your brand. Yep. So let go of that. Accept, if you've already done that, accept that you probably didn't have the right motive, and it's okay, because so many other people do that. There are
an honest mistake.
Yeah, there's programs out there too to help reverse that. You just got to find them. I'm not going to condone that necessarily, because it's like technically you shouldn't have third-party programs on Instagram, but they exist. Right? I don't want Instagram to come after me. But there's ways to reverse those mistakes. But revisit your strategy, and it's okay to rebrand a little bit as well. If you feel you've gone in the wrong direction a little bit.
Yeah. Laura, I absolutely am so happy you said about the vanity metrics, and I think a lot of us get stuck on that, and then we get stuck there saying, well, I can't launch this next phase because I need to make 1,000 followers, or I need to make 1,000 followers. And, sometimes it just takes the one sale sometimes, right? And you don't have to have 2,000. You could have 10.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So I love that you said that as kind of like a thing to not focus on. Building this plan. So
I feel like the hardest part about what you said, though, is like decide what your brand is all about. And I think people get like, well, it's about this and this and this and this and this and this. And so what would you say to somebody that's having a hard time like narrowing down that focus? Like, what's the process to really say, I got to niche it down. I want to make it like, this is my primary. You can still have some secondaries out there, but what's my primary?
I guess for me, it would be in terms of, do all of those fall under one category? Are you just naming subcategories?
Smart.
I mean, we've seen some people fall into that trap with the D&D thing, right?
Yes.
They have one main category, and then they also do all of their other subcategories. And it just becomes this really long, wordy thing that nobody wants to read.
Yes.
Well, and so, that's the unfortunate. It's the unfortunate truth, right? Like if you if you're talking in circles about your brands, people stop listening after the first 5 words, right? You need to have a clear, concise. Then maybe this is where my background in journalism has helped me with the branding, because like journalism is all about being concise in your articles. But you can easily take a paragraph and make it 2 sentences.
Right.
You just need the powerful language. And there are resources out there as well to help you figure that out too. For me, when I'm doing branding and trying to figure out, brand development, brand strategy, I answer a series of questions, and then I answer them again and again and again until I can say everything very clearly to someone and they know exactly what I'm talking about and they have no questions.
And that's very important.
Yes.
And sometimes that question is just, so what, right? So you say your statement and then you ask the question, so what, right? Like what's really actually important about what I just said. And kind of just really drill it down to that last little bit that's like, okay, that's what I need them to know about. And that's what's going to bring the people, right? Because that's the piece that's important to them.
Yes,
exactly.
I was working with a business mentor and we had discussed the whole, like the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid, like what you were just saying about. And I remember when we first met a year ago, she had said, Selena, give me your little elevator pitch. And I was like, and I was like, and then she was like, whoa, right? And so yes, Anna is my bestie and the copywriter of our duo, but I think, but I was like, I just love that it doesn't have to be an elaborate novel of what you do, because like you said, we skim also as readers, right? So I just want to look at, and if I have to skim that long, I'm like, oh, I can't. We're such a lazy society right now sometimes.
Very true.
It's true though. It is true.
Very true.
We are all guilty of doing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But I think that kind of helps us. It gives us a little bit of an advantage about what, like, if you can't get through it,
how do we?
How are you? How is your audience? Right?
No,
I had something I was going to say, but now I forgot.
No, it's okay.
I think about, so I want to tie it into how word of mouth marketing is an incredibly powerful marketing strategy right now. Like, it is probably the most important one, because I don't remember the exact stat, but like a vast majority of marketing is actually done through word of mouth. There are brands out there who they don't pay for any marketing because their audience does it for them just by talking about their brand. Now, considering that, think of how, if you're a consumer, how would you describe the brand? You're not going to be like, okay, here's their mission statement. No, you're going to sum it up in your own words, right? So I think we did a word cloud thing a couple of weeks ago. I was just curious. So I was like, hey guys, I'll give you this much off on coffee if you guys just answer these questions. I want 3 words that you associate with our brand. Community was one of those words, fresh roasted coffee, and D&D. And I'm like, all right. So I know that when people go and they talk to their friends and like they're sharing about our brand, it's like, it's D&D inspired coffee. And they have a great community and they're really nice.
Yeah.
Like, that's the common theme, right? So it's kind of like break it down to that. Like,
right?
Yeah. So like you can also do that type of stuff. Like, I think the word cloud is considered a little bit of maybe market research, right? But it was really helpful, very insightful. Right?
But I think that's important. It's important to go back and say, is what we're doing working the way we want it to work? And that was what your word cloud did.
Yes.
You were verifying that your efforts were producing the results that you were looking for. Because that's what you want your brand to be about. You don't want it to be about, if they come in and they've been like trolls and I'm throwing out all the names and words I know. I don't play.
Exactly.
Right? But if they come in with some random stuff, you would have been like, what the heck? Like, okay, we need to like redefine some things that are happening here.
Exactly. And I think it's important to note that, right? Like, if you're for business owners out there, don't let your ego get in the way. Don't think that like, hey, I'm definitely doing this right. I don't need to double check, right?
Yeah.
Check in with your audience, make sure you're reaching the right people, and that they're perceiving you how you want to be perceived.
Yeah.
Right?
So
and then reevaluate accordingly.
I feel like that just answered this next question, which is like, what's your tip for maintaining a strong brand? Like, I feel like you just answered that by saying, evaluate, come back and look at it again. But would you add anything to that for like existing business owners that feel like they have a brand community already structured?
I definitely would, but if you have something,
off the top of my head.
So I would say, don't just forget about your brand community. Don't set it and forget it. You know what I mean? Like, don't assume that because you've built this community that you can now be like, all right, I'm moving on. They'll take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Continue to foster that. Continue to nurture it. Because it's almost like a child, right? Like not that I'm saying the people in my community are children, but like the community itself, you need to continue to nurture it and be there for it. Maintain your presence and continue working at it as if you were trying to build it up for the first time. It's like a relationship.
No,
you got to keep going on dates.
Yes, I'm in my 40s. My mom is in her 70s, and we still have a very nurturing relationship. I still know
exactly.
Absolutely.
But we're very close. So I totally get that analogy. It's so true.
You
can't just send me out in the world and forget me, right? Like, I need phone calls. I need how are you doing? I need letters. I need all the things. So it should be the same for your community.
Yeah. And there's different ways you can do that. It doesn't mean you have to spend half your day in that community, answering questions and comments and things like that. But there is a way to be known and have a presence and continue to add value, that continues to grow the community. And a lot of it will happen naturally, right? Because if you put a bunch of people together that have the same value sets and ideals and enjoy doing the same thing, there is a natural growth process. But if there's nobody monitoring that, man, it can go wonky direction.
Very fast.
And then sadly your name is tied to that community, right? And they're like, if this community does this, and you're like, what? I'm not even in there monitoring my own group.
Exactly right. It could just go haywire. I think also communicating, and obviously continuing to provide what you've promised you'll provide, right? Like the obvious things, right? Like keep offering the same product, and if you decide to change that, involve your community in that process. Don't just be like, hey guys, I got rid of this and now it's this. You know what I mean? We had when we came to Canada, we ran into a little bit of an issue with our coffee roasts. We couldn't get the same coffee roasts here without having to pay like ridiculous shipping fees. So we would be like in the red. We were like, okay, we can't do that. So we needed to bring in a whole new different roasts, right? And it was an adjustment, I think, for people, but people were generally excited, and we found a way to involve them. And that was by being like, hey, we need you guys to name our roasts.
There you go.
I think we named one ourselves.
We named one roast ourselves. Yes. So
I love it.
Yeah. We involved them in that.
That's so smart. It just allows an investment from your clients, or, what I mean, to be part of your business. And I mean, I know I'm like, oh, I bought something. I'm like, I named this. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near it. I'm like, I was part of a poll. And I get excited about that. And I think
it's cool.
It's a sense of pride.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Totally.
Exactly.
Okay. You guys, you've heard it here. All the great things from Laura and Kelly. Seriously. I would love to chat with them for like 5 hours. I really would.
Same.
They're fantastic. They have lots of great stuff. But if you want to continue the conversation, I'm going to bring up the slide, and I'm going to have them both tell you where you can continue the conversation. We didn't talk about it, but you can drop a link here. Oh, well, actually, no. It's on your Instagram. But take it away, Laura and Kelly.
All right. Yeah. So you can go and, obviously get your own coffee. It's all D&D inspired, fresh roasted, and made to order. You can find that on our website. We also do have merch as well.
Yes.
The mugs we are drinking from, unfortunately, are not part of our merch. These were actually gifted to us from my cousin who made them herself.
Oh, they're so cute, aren't they? She did such a good job.
She did an amazing job. But we do have mugs on there, and actually all proceeds from those mugs go toward Razum for Ukraine, which is a charity that goes toward humanitarian relief aid in Ukraine currently. So that's all profits from our mugs. We've
made over $80 so far?
Yeah, I think it's probably closer to over 100 now. Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing that we do. Had a lot of fun with the merch listings. So enjoy.
There's just funny names and funny bios for the
I got really goofy one night. I was up till like 12 a.m. and I was just laughing with until I was crying. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever said. I've peaked. I'm never going to be this funny again in my life. Like that was where I was at. So enjoy the merch. Listings, they make me laugh still.
Oh my God, that's my favorite quote today. I don't know what's gonna happen from here, pretty much.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you go to any of those, you will find our link tree. And even on our website, you'll find our link tree with all of these links, plus invite link to our Discord community, where obviously you get to do all sorts of cool D&D things. There's actually people in there who don't even play D&D. And they're just there to chill because they like the community. That's the thing. Those are the things.
No, I love it.
Everyone's welcome.
I love it. I'm gonna the Discord is like the only place that I've never really gone to yet. My daughter is just like, so I went to her the other day and I said, so this Discord thing, she goes, no.
Nope.
And I'm like, but maybe I want to. And she's like, no, mommy. Aww. Like, just,
I gotcha. I'm on Discord. I gotcha.
Yeah, it's more than just like for gamers now, too.
Discord's amazing.
Yeah, they have a schoolie community there, and they'll have everything.
Yes, I feel like I'm missing out. Okay. Well, if you see some new member pop in, it's because Anna has assisted and helped me become a part of your.
All right. Come on in.
Yeah. Okay. Look, every chat we have, we always have a toolkit, and I personally think you cannot live without coffee. I was telling Laura and Kelly, like, there's blood in the coffee in my veins. So we want you. I'm gonna have Laura and Kelly read this like funny little clip, but this is their coffee. You need to put this in your toolkit for daily use.
Yes.
So cute. Go ahead, Kelly or Laura. Read that cute little. I don't know.
Call the barkeep to grab a tanker?
That's so cute. That is so cute.
I read it.
So
you guys are funny. You guys are so
funny. That was our attempt, right?
Yeah. I love it though. No, it's cute. So clever. It is so clever.
It's on brand.
No, I'm loving these comments that are coming in. They're like, D&D inspired, but anyone can drink it. No level of requirement for something.
Yes.
But does it give you? Wait, I just want to know though, does it give you I know they don't call them powers, charisma, those things that you get when you roll the dice.
Yes.
My husband is so embarrassed by me right now.
Yeah.
I
love it.
I don't know the game, but I would absolutely think that coffee gives anybody charisma because I know before coffee, I am not a charismatic type of
true.
person.
It's very true.
I don't know if I'm using that in the right D&D term, but I just would assume so, So
you're using the right term. Absolutely.
No. I love it.
But I'm super excited. Like, I was just telling them before we got on, I ordered some of my coffee, so I'm excited that it's coming. And actually, I'm going to put this out there. So I want Laura and Kelly to do a giveaway, and Selena and Anna would like to buy their winner, like, 4 copies of their choice.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, so go in Discord. And so if you follow them, they're going to do some giveaway, and it's going to be on Selena and Anna, and I'm going to pay for it.
Why are you so sweet?
Because I love coffee, and I like you guys, and I think like the coffee. So
don't make us cry.
No, so you two just need to figure out how you want to do the giveaway, and I will be there, whatever. But who doesn't want coffee? And how fun, you guys, you just have to go to the site. I think it's super clever how you built it. And I love how you put together like the D&D with the thing, you know what I mean? Oh, level 15 coffee. John, am I level 15? I just need to understand.
I don't know. But look, I'm loving these comments that are coming in right now over on YouTube. They're like, apparently my word about charisma, apparently it started something. I don't know.
It's great. No, it's great.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. So you heard Laura and Kelly are going to do a giveaway. They're going to give away 4 copies. They can either give 4 copies to one person or give 4 copies to 4 people that haven't really tried it yet. I don't care, but you got to go to Laura and Kelly for the giveaway. Yeah, and we'll figure it out, Laura. You and Kelly just text me and we'll make it work.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're wonderful.
No.
Our community will love that.
Yay!
So
Awesome. All right, guys. So go to Homebrew Coffee Co. Just check it out, just in case you're like, ooh, I want to see how they had some clever. Like I ordered the apple brown sugar. Actually, did I do the? I don't know. Anyway, I ordered all of it. I don't know. I'm excited. See?
Well, I think that what's so like if you're like me and you try and find D&D inspired gifts for like people that love D&D, this is such a great option.
Yeah.
Right. This is such a great option. So I love that we found you guys. Well, I say we, but you know, kind of in a roundabout we. But I love that this is an option now for just, you know, coffee drinkers and D&D inspired gifting and all sorts of things for just again that community that you've built. So that's amazing.
Yes, that's actually how it started. Yeah, honestly, it was a gift. I could roast and I gave it to my party as a gift, and then we're like, oh hey, this would be.
I looked at Kelly great. And I was like. You know, this is a business, right? And she's like,
I love that. I love
and the rest is history.
Yes, the rest is history.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay. We're Anna, let's settle on to this next one.
Yes. So our tip jar today from our resident CPA, Caitlin Eldridge of Eldridge CPA. Please make sure that you have a business-only bank account. PayPal account, Stripe account. Do not mix your business and personal. It makes tax time so messy. Yes. So we just highly recommend that you make sure you have a business only in all of those areas that you're collecting money. And that is our financial tip for today.
Thank you.
A wonderful tip.
I like it.
Right? My fellow CPA family members would agree.
Yes.
Yes.
All the things. Well, and real fast, Anna, before you say this, I want to say this about the D&D community, right? Like there's like that, not a stigma, but like the non-D&D players, we think of like the 70s and 80s where that like story of them in like cloaks down in a basement. You know what I mean? That is so not what it is, right? Like I've met so many cool people because of Anna's husband. And I'm like,
oh, that's so sweet.
And I mean, if you look at Laura and Kelly, I mean, they don't look like they're hiding down in a basement. So, just, open your mind a little bit more to what you thought, and it's not. It's like it's cool. I love the whole concept of it. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Anna. I wanted to say that.
Yes. So, okay. So we want to just let you know that you can find Anna and Selena at the 15-ish minute coffee chat. You can find us on Instagram. I'm so lost right now in what I'm saying, but I'm gonna make it through this. So hold on just a second. Here we go. You can find us on LinkedIn, which is our preferred place to be and connect with people, Facebook, Instagram, or any of your favorite podcast platforms, because every show that we make, we turn into a podcast so that you can listen to it on your favorite podcast platform. And then next week's guest is going to be Christy Mitchell. So, and actually I say next week, but it's actually May 10th is when we're going to have Christy on. And Christy's going to be talking to us about marketing funnels, which should be a really fun discussion because that's something that, again, kind of like brand community, people are like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Wow. So excited to have that conversation. Join us on May 10th at 10 a.m. Central Time for our conversation with Christy. And thank you so much for joining our show.
Thank you for having us. This was so much fun, honestly.
I know. I'm excited.
I'll talk with you guys anytime.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. No, but thank you for just for making coffee, for selling it, for doing what you both do. I mean, you're doing too. You run a mutual business, you're a nurse, you're a marketing specialist, entrepreneurship, you guys, at its finest.
Yeah. So I love it.
We're busy.
Yes.
I know. Well, we can't wait to see where this takes you. I mean, now my spouse is now part of your community.
Yes,
so I know that I will, even through osmosis, he will continue to let me know. And eventually someday I'll be able to talk D&D speak, as I like to listen to the stories and whatnot, but never, anyway, who knows? Yeah. Maybe someday I'll be convinced to try it out. I don't know.
It's fun. I convinced her.
Yeah. Before all this, I had never played.
Right.
I started a
and
D&D
look at you now, owning a D&D inspired business.
Yes.
It's all her idea. The name of the company, everything's her idea.
I love it. Oh my gosh. You guys, we have to go now. We don't want to, but You never know. You never know where we may take another conversation with Laura and Kelly. So
that's right.
Thank you guys so much.
No,
thank you, everyone.
Camera, there it is.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.